5 ways to get sales in any business. You should be doing all 5 of these things. I implemented these 5 things into my business, and we have been growing like crazy. We get anywhere from 10 to 15 people reaching out a day. I own an insurance agency, so we do business insurance. Businesses are reaching out to me 10 to 15 a day from these 5 sources that I'm going to go through today. You can literally implement this in any business that you have. Sales is usually your problem in business. If you can have enough people reaching out to you wanting to buy whatever you're providing, a service or a product, if you have enough people reaching out, you can figure out everything else. You can figure out the operations, you can figure out the money, whatever it is. When sales is not a problem in your company, you have money to reinvest in all the tech and everything. So you need to solve the sales problem in your company. The first way of doing that is implementing these 5 things. Number 1, you need to communicate directly with your consumer, okay? This is the first thing. This is like the bare necessities that every business should do, okay? So I own an insurance agency. We do business insurance. I would be reaching out to business owners. My first year in business, this is the first step that you do. I started reaching out to business owners, and I said, do you want insurance? Do you want insurance? Do you want a quote? No. Yeah, I'll take a quote. Boom, closed it. Boom, closed it. Kept doing it, door knocking, asking your consumer. So whatever your consumer is, whoever's going to buy your product, the end user, you're asking those people over and over again, do you want to buy my service? Ton of rejection here, but when you're starting out, this is one of the fastest ways you can grow. I made 3,000 cold calls my first year in business, and we closed tons of revenue from that. Just hitting it every day, 50 to 80 calls a day, sometimes 100, just getting rejected over and over again. We tried door knocking. I sweat a lot. I was sweating, knocking on people's door. They're probably like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? But I was asking our end consumer, do you want to buy? Okay, it's exhausting, but it gets legs underneath you the fastest way. The fastest way to grow a business is literally by asking. And you got to find a way. How can I get in front of my consumer? How can I ask them? So there's numerous ways you can do that. Cold calling, door knocking. If you don't have people's phone numbers, and you're just going out in the community and asking people. You're going to trade shows, different things at festivals in the community, and you're going out, and you're not behind the table at your tent if you're at a festival. You're in front. Hey, shaking people's hands. That's the fastest way you're going to grow in business, number 1. Number 2, this is the golden goose, or the goose that continues to lay the golden eggs. And a lot of people don't get this right. And this is why their business, they get exhausted and they don't have time to go directly to consumer. Like me, I'm managing my business, I have employees, okay? So I don't have time necessarily to do that. We have people that potentially do that, but it's a hard way to scale because eventually you get tired. So number 2 is networking with people who deal with your end consumer, right? So I do business insurance. Who else works with my ideal client? Okay, CPAs, lawyers, business bankers, financial advisors maybe, people who do health insurance, so many different people. Who's sitting down? If I work with a construction company, who's also sitting down with that construction company? Those are the people that I need to get to know, shake their hand, and become a trusted partner for them. That means that I also have to potentially refer things to them, but I just need to get to know those. I need to get known to those people. If they know that Nate Jones and Wexford Insurance are selling business insurance in these 22 states, and I have over 100 people that I know that I've networked with, guess what happens? I get referral after referral after referral because it takes one situation where someone's like, my agent sucks. My agent retired. My agent potentially died. My agent whatever. And then they're looking for somebody and they don't know who to do. And they trust their accountant. They trust their CPA, their lawyer. And then they reach out to us. Okay, so you see how networking, whoever is also interacting with your consumer is who you need to talk to, because you'd be surprised if you have enough fishing poles out there in the water. That's networking. People who are also out there you're at the top of their mind. And when the subject of whatever you have, mine is insurance, gets brought up, Wexford Insurance gets that referral. Networking is hard because you don't see it right away. I would not do networking in the first 6 months of your business. I would focus more on directly to the consumer because you need to get some legs underneath you. But once you have the time, after you get a little bit of sales, get into networking and get those relationships going right away. Number 3, this is a weird one. People don't talk about this, but I think it has a place in these 5. Networking with larger or smaller competitors. Let me explain that. I own an insurance agency. We do business insurance. There's large companies, large insurance agencies that do not want to deal with small clients. Those clients may spend $200, or they may be a $200 to $1,000 revenue account for us. That means that's how much we make on them. A lot of larger agencies, they don't want to work on anything that doesn't produce 10, 15, 20,000 because they have high staff people there and it's not profitable and it just doesn't make sense. But for a small company, when we were first starting, hey, we'll take a $1,000 account. Hell yeah, man, we'll close those all day long. So yes, I was networking with bigger guys that I had relationships with before, and I was like, hey man, I would appreciate if you send me your small stuff. I know you don't want to work on it. I would be happy to provide them great service and help them out. So we got referrals from large agencies like crazy because they didn't want to deal with the small guys. Now we're at a point where we're like, oh, now I might understand why they didn't want to deal with that. Now we're kind of raising where we want to play at. But at the beginning, you can really get your business off the ground by networking with some of your so-called competitors. Even the smaller ones, they may not have the abilities to do what you do in business, right? Now, we're a larger agency now, so we have more capabilities. So a smaller agency, I might say, hey, refer it over. I can pay you a commission split because we know how to do it. You're not there yet, but you can still make money doing it instead of letting that go out the door. Let's network together. You see how we're getting a lot of lead flow already, and I'm only 3 layers in? I'm only 3 layers in, and we're getting a ton of lead flow because we have these different connections, okay? So this is one that you're going to have to really think about, okay? But number 4, and then this is once you have clients, ask for referrals. You will get referrals if you ask for them. If you don't ask for them, you will randomly get referrals. The person who gets the most referrals is the person who asks. Every time I have a call with somebody or a meeting, I always say, hey, and as always, man, if you ever know somebody who's looking for some insurance, throw my name out there. I would really appreciate it. I'm doing the same for you. Hey, throw my name out there. If you know anybody looking for insurance, if you have any buddies who own businesses, continuing to say that. I put it at the bottom of my email when I send an email. Hey, as always, we would appreciate a referral. If you send a referral, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So there's so many things that you can do because if somebody's having a great experience, this is what I've learned. When someone's having a great experience, I've had people say, hey, thanks for hopping on that. I really appreciate it. I needed it today, and you got on it. And I say, hey, anytime. If you can, please tell your friends that of the experience you had and refer anybody who's interested. Anything like that. If somebody has a great experience, they have a great food at a restaurant, they're going to tell everybody. Why wouldn't they say the same thing about your business? Referrals from customers are great because there's a trust level there all the time, and we get a ton of them. Again, I'm creating this deal flow, right? We have to do all these things. We can't focus on one. The last thing is social media and marketing. So social media is interesting. You have to find where you kind of fit in on social media. Sometimes that's documenting. I have friends that own construction companies. All they do is film the work they're doing, right? They're not in front of the camera. They're not doing what I'm doing. They get referrals because people like to see that. They like to see things being built. Some people have the camera facing them and they tell them what they're doing that day. Hey, we're remodeling this house or we're doing this, right? Sometimes, people do it differently. Like me, I have a social media channel. People know the business that I own. If they own a business and they want an insurance quote, I'm here for you. I've gotten referrals from this YouTube that I've had before, so the social media is another flow for me. Marketing is the other side of that. Marketing is your website. Marketing is your business's social media. Marketing is you out in the community, maybe putting in yard signs, doing kind of physical marketing. But the biggest thing for our business is SEO, search engine optimization, that when you search for certain types of businesses insurance in the United States, our website shows up high. Our Google listing shows up high. We have a lot of good reviews. So when you start showing that your business is showing up, then you're going to start getting more leads from that because you're marketing, your online marketing, your SEO. People are going to start clicking on those things and they're going to continue to, and that business is getting referred to you, okay? So you need to be doing these things. You need to be doing all 5 of these things, and then you'll have an entire lead flow coming in from different resources. Sometimes we have a lot of lead flow from a website. Sometimes we have a ton of referrals in a week. It doesn't matter. It all ebbs and flows. But the cool thing is because we have these 5 opportunities out here that now we have so much lead flow coming in because sometimes they all hit at the same time and we'll have freaking 60, 70 accounts that we're working on because we've created and established these relationships. Okay, so this is how you build your company. You build your company by saying, how can I get sales in? How are people going to connect with my company? And if the more connections that I have, the more people that I ask, the more people that know about my company and can refer me, the more current clients, competitors, everybody out there needs to know about our business so they can refer us somebody or continue to do business with us. So that's how you get sales with any company. As always, if you have any questions about your specific business, you're like, hey, Nate, I hear what you're saying. You said something about insurance agencies, but my business, I'm really kind of blurry on it. You can always book a call with me. I have a link in the bio below. I only charge $50 for 30 minutes. It's just so it's worth my time. I'll be happy to have a quick call with you to help you get your sales on the next level and get you back on track to start making some money. And as always, please like and subscribe. Thank you.